Okay, so in order to do this, you're going to need some oil, and I'm going to be using Valvoline Synthetic. You're going to need a 75 140 weight oil, gear oil. Doesn't really matter what brand you use, pick one that you like. You'll notice on these ones that it says limited slip, and that's important. That means it's got a limited slip additive already added in it. If it doesn't have that, you're going to need to add it yourself. Ford has some that you can buy, but most oil will have it in already. So I'm going to be using this. You're going to need 7 quarts. It takes 6.9. I'm just going to put in all 7. It's not really going to hurt anything. Also, you'll notice I have a gasket here from the factory, and the Ford manual recommends using RTV. I just think it's a mess. I'm going to try the gasket, see if it works. Hopefully it holds up. I've got RTV gasket maker on there now, so we'll see how this gasket holds up. So let's get under the truck and check it out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to place the drain pan underneath the differential. Don't forget to open the little valve here. It's a mess you don't want to deal with. Great. So I'm going to be taking a 13mm socket, and it's a little loose on these nuts, so I'm thinking it might actually be a standard socket, but this 13 is going to work. So I'm going to loosen these bottom 4 bolts first, and then I've got a screwdriver that you might need to use to kind of break this seal down here to just let it drain. Now this is also a great time to swap over to the newer 08 NUP rear differential covers if you want to do that. I'm not going to be doing that, but I'll include a link on how to do that in the description for anybody who wants to do that. All you have to do is buy the 08 differential cover, some longer bolts, and that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to leave this bolt in to kind of hold the cover there so we don't get a huge splash. I'm going to try and... There we go. Okay, so now you're going to want to go ahead and clean your differential cover. I've just gone ahead and wiped it down once, and what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to spray it down with some brake cleaner just to clean off any gunk that's on there. Give it another wipe down. Okay, and you're going to still have some gasket on there. Let's go ahead and peel off all the silicone. Okay, so here you can actually really see how it may not look like it over here, but there's still silicone on there, and you can tell right here. So what I've done is I've taken a Scotch-Brite pad from the kitchen, just cut it up a little bit, and I'm just going to run it down to get all of the silicone off. Once you get your differential cover cleaned up, you need to clean up the mating surface of the differential also. So do the same thing, just go around real lightly. Make sure all the gasket, RTV, or whatever you used is off. Once that's all ready, go ahead and get your differential cover. Now, if you're using a gasket maker like RTV, you're going to want to go around and apply a gasket sealer around all the holes and in between all the holes like this. Okay, but I'm not doing that. I'm instead using a pre-made gasket from Riley Auto Parts. Okay, so since I'm using a gasket, I'm going to put it on the differential cover, hold it in place with one bolt, go ahead and align it, and secure that bolt loosely. And then just go ahead and place all of the other bolts. And do it in the same way that you would tighten down the lug nuts on your wheels. You can go ahead and get these in loosely however you want, but once you torque them down, doing a pattern like kind of like a star pattern or a pattern similar to what you would use for lug nuts, just so you torque it evenly. This isn't super thick metal, so you want to kind of distribute that weight evenly, and it'll also help that gasket seal best. Now normally I would torque these down, but I lent my torque wrench to a friend, so I'm just going to tighten them down pretty good, and then I'll get to them when I get a chance. The torque setting for these is 29 to 39 foot-pounds, somewhere in there. I just found a range, so go ahead and torque it to like, I don't know, 30, and then go around and do it again at like 35, and you should be good. Ford says to wait an hour before adding fluid, but that's because they use a sealant. If you used a gasket, you could probably just do it right away. Alright, so you're going to come back here, and you can remove this plug with a 3/8 inch ratchet. And then I'm just going to pump in using a little quart bottle pump that you can get at any auto parts store. Easy as can be. And just do this for your 7 quarts, replace the plug, and you're good to go.